Look at this. Look at his tail. Wow. What a setting, you know? Right over there is the biggest beaver lodge I've ever seen in my life. There goes a baby turkey.
Those are some big antlions.
Okay, so there's the milkweed beetle, and then there's this one here, which is a swamp milkweed beetle, and they're pretty different looking. This actually reminds me of the, what is it, margin beetle? But alas, it's the swamp milkweed leaf beetle. I'm finding these pipeworts all over this area today. I wonder if they're related to rushes or not, because they've got rather round rush-like stems. So this spilosoma has just emerged and it's already mating. You can tell the male's the smaller one because, you know, the antenna.
This is sheep laurel, and it's generally successful at growing in a habitat that's been recently burned due to fires. And believe it or not, it's an evergreen species.
Damn. Here's another word for beaver lodge. Now, I happen to love buttonbush flowers because look how cool they are. I mean, they're a good size. It's over an inch in diameter. And I just love them because, as you can see, they attract all sorts of pollinators. So I found this sweet fern here, and it's finally fruiting. See, a cool thing about the fruit is when they're ripe, they're a little bit nutty flavored. And yet again, a reddish-brown stag beetle. You don't want to inadvertently put your hand on one of these beetles because obviously they could deliver a bit of a pinch. First I thought this was a giant leopard moth, but as I looked closer, it turns out to be a carpenter worm moth, and I'm really excited about it. I was really hoping to finally see one this year, and here you go. I don't know what kind of moth this is, but I know it's a male because those feathery antennae are characteristic of males. The females have thread-like antennae. This beautiful little moth is a black-winged flannel moth, and I guess it's named after the cozy-looking apparel this moth wears. I don't see these too often. This is Napatolotes moth. The wing structure looks really similar to the sphinx moths, doesn't it? And speaking of Apatolotes, this is what the caterpillar looks like. But did you know that the Apatolotes caterpillar will actually fluoresce under UV light? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so events just took an unexpected turn, but I'm welcoming it with open arms. Hold on a second. I'm somewhere in this wetlands in the heart of the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, and the reason I'm out here is because I was lured by that sound, the chorus of carpenter frogs. I wanted to simulate what it might have been like for early settlers who know that there's a village somewhere in a certain direction in the pines. They head towards it only to find themselves lured by that sound of the carpenter frog in the middle of the night. Thinking, wow, they're working on a village, hammering nails and sawing wood. I'm right there. Then you wind up in the middle of a swamp, right? Which is the situation I'm in right now. Obviously, no trails around me. I'm a little nervous because I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I don't want to get lost out here. So I stopped the camera just for a second, to try to get a little bit closer to this frog over here. And while I do so, I turn around and there's a pair of eyes coming right at me. Caught me off guard. My heart sank for a second, but then immediately was picked right back up with excitement and adventure. Because I'm like, well, it's got to be something cool. I don't think it's a bear. It's moving too bouncy for a bear. Well, I'll show you what happened. Pretty exciting for me. I'm thrilled. Now I got, yeah. Can't find any of them, but this was a bit more exciting for me. I gotta figure out how to get back. So, if you're seeing this video, obviously I got back. See you in a while. So, I don't know if you know this or not, but that is obviously the howl of a fox. And not just any fox, this is the gray fox. It's I was trying to be nice to you. I let you bite me. You could see my blood in you, but you had to keep biting me. You didn't just stay in one spot and get your share. You kept biting and biting and biting. Did you not like the part? Now leave me alone. Now, I always love looking at British soldier lichen, But this one is really vibrant and large compared to what I usually see. I had to do a video all about longhorn beetles because I've been finding lots of them this year. This is another one of my favorite beetle species. This is the grapevine beetle, and they're just gorgeous. And it's a decent sized beetle, just over an inch long. This has to be just about the coolest fence lizard I've ever seen. I mean, look how dark she is, and those orange highlights really stand out against that dark background. The patterning on this wasp looks so much like a cicada killer, but the head and the wings just don't add up. Now, it might be some sort of carbonid wasp, but I'm also thinking it might be a scoliid. I have seen several scoliid species today. This one here is definitely a scoliid. I've actually held this species before, and it didn't display any aggression whatsoever. Beautiful looking though, isn't it? Whenever I'm in Wharton State Forest, I really make it a point to try and visit this spot. I mean, it's sentimental, but whatever direction I look in, it's just stunning. It's beautiful.
Oh well, that was a water snake right here. I didn't even know it. But yeah, I just love this place. There's some nighthawks over there, which I think are in the whippoorwill family. I mean, they got the same structure. And I don't know if you heard that, but that was a mourning dove. They make that little whistle sound when they fly. But anyways, I just love this place.
I would absolutely love to hit this area with a kayak or a canoe. It must be amazing out there. I bet that cedar forest has a lot of pine barrens tree frogs at the right time of year.
It's a long way down.
You know, there's a thunderstorm rolling in, and it's just beautiful and everything. But I looked under this log, and I happened to find this amazing king snake. And I just thought that you might like to see it. It's a beautiful species of snake. Being a king snake, these actually feed on other snakes, which kind of works out pretty well considering the shape of their body. It's pretty easy to swallow something the same shape as you, if you're a long tube, that is. Not an aggressive species whatsoever, even though it hunts other snakes. And I just reached down and picked it right up, didn't care at all. In fact, it climbed into my hands when I put my fingers under it. It just climbed into my hands and up my arm. This is the first wild king snake I've ever handled. Pretty amazing snake. Look at this. A little bit camera shy, doesn't want to share its face, put its face on screen. I have to film this a different way. So king snakes are smooth scaled snakes, whereas the black rat snake, or any of the rat snakes really, are keeled scaled. They're rough scaled snakes because they have these little keels in their scales that's like the keel line of a boat. You know, that bottom ridge that sticks up on a boat, or sticks down on a boat. And, but the king snake, like this one right here, has smooth scales. I'm a big fan of snakes with smooth scales because they're so beautiful to look at and soft. Smooth. I don't look it, but I am absolutely thrilled and psyched out about this snake right now. Amazing. Well, if you insist. That just goes on for miles and miles.